I had to jump on with you guys and just talk about it, see what's going on with you guys. So, as we wait for a few people to come in, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or Twitter or wherever you are, I hope you guys are doing well. We've seen a massive event just take place. It really, really genuinely was awesome to see it. Monster Michael Todd and his event absolutely ramping up as we got a few people starting to come in now. Good to see. There he is, the Drew 24. Good to see you, brother. Oh, yeah, there we go. You wouldn't have missed it for anything. The Drew 24. Good to see you here, brother. Thank you. Who else we got? We got Sap the Bee. Sap the Bee, aka Murray Mackay. John also had a bad flu from Mexico. That's why he was having breathing issues. Yeah. It was good stuff. 71 of you in here now, flying in. Monster, not for Levan. Jesus, M. Lots of good stuff here. Good to see everyone as they're coming in. Good morning, good evening. It's probably good evening for most of you guys. It's just a bit after lunchtime for me here in Brisbane, Australia. But good to see the Motorcycle Video Music Channel. Thanks for jumping in. Brzenk is simply amazing, says stronger than every woman on earth combined. Isn't he what? Isn't he what? Oh my goodness. We'll get there. We'll talk about that match. John Brzenk just doing John Brzenk things. Really, really, really impressive stuff. Just Zem says Monster must avenge his losses. Well, he's back on the winners board now, isn't he? He is. I actually just got off the phone to Michael Todd. He just gave me a call personally. I sent him a congratulations and he gave me a call straight away. He said, I have to call you. He said, you're the first person I called and I had to call you because you said you lost faith in me. And there we go. Anyway, so we're more about that later. But good to see everybody in the chat. 107 of you guys. Like I said, whether you're watching YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, welcome. What an event we've had. If you haven't seen it, guys, if you're somewhere in the world where you're just waking up, Monster Michael Todd's live feed is where you'll be able to see the matches. You're gonna flick through. I'm sure they'll put out the matches in a specific format. But oh my goodness, a very nice way to wake up to the arm wrestling world for me this morning. I got to wake up and I straight away, it was like 8 a.m. for me when it all started. Yes, I saw that Roger Fab Collins says, Roger said you suck. Yeah, man. Well, Roger, you suck. Craig Touye getting the hammer dropping on Roger. Roger and I, of course, there's a lot of need for us to have a match in the future. We need to find out who is the number one ranked ginger in the world. I know we've got Mr. Todd Hutchings and Jerry Cataract as former gingers, but me and Roger, it will happen at some point. Trust me, it will happen. Absolutely. Blanca Vega says he's the GOAT, always will be the GOAT. Yeah. What John did today was amazing. And let's just talk straight about that. Hey, let's talk about John. Man, it was impressive stuff. Like aside from it was a close match. These guys straight away, John was just like into the hook. Straight away, he was like, "I'm not running from Corey. I'm going into the hook." Round one, he gets it, and it's looking good. But then the overwhelming power in Corey just started to gather momentum, and you could see that John was redlining and controlling the rotation was difficult for John. And it got to the point where we thought, "Oh no." Like the chat, most people were saying, "Oh look," when it was 2-1 to Corey, most people were thinking it was done and dusted and over. But then in that final round, after it had all come down to 2-all, man, oh man, John Brzenk pulls out this phenomenal top roll. You can see outside of straps the time. So Corey pinned him, but he was on the runner, right? And this is at 2-all. Corey pins John, but he's on the runner, gets the restart. John's like, all right, I'm going all in on this damn top roll. He hits that damn top roll and so low. And Corey holds on. And I thought, oh no, look, John's gonna regather the control here and get the pin. Unable to do that, they go up to the straps. This massive posting top roll defense from John just to survive the first surges. And then after he survives the first surge, he comes into the hook. And you can just see he's done enough. You can see it. Corey's hand is gassed. And John starts to just take control. You can see he's got the pronation in. And all of a sudden, the critical thing was when John and his pronation got high. As soon as John's pronation got high, it was good night. And Corey West just out of options. And it takes the win. Like, man, John Brzenk is amazing. To do what he's done. it's nothing short of just phenomenal. I genuinely think he's more statistically dominant than any other man in any other sport. I think what he's done is one of a kind. To be 40 years into the sport and still being able to defeat people like Corey West. Like, where does this like? I don't know where you ranked John in the world after this. I don't know where you ranked him before this. But Corey West, the real deal. We saw that when he took on Alex Kadecha. And even though Alex got the win in the early rounds, it was just Corey looking monstrous. John is really significantly up there in the ranks. You have to have him top 10 in the world now. You have to. Even on the overall list, John Brzenk is back in the top 10, in my opinion. I have to give it some proper thought to work out exactly who. But yeah, hang on. What people are saying? What's up with the title? What is up with the title? What is the title of this video? Monster Factory post event. Spoilers. That's what it should be. Or did I go live on something else? I just must have gone live on something else. Hang on. Let me look. Let me work out what on earth I have done here. But that's funny. Let's see if I can update it on the fly. I must have one of my old titles in there. Hang on a second. Let's see if we can work this out. Let's go back onto that one. But anyway, we know why we're here. We know what we're talking about. As I'll just get this up. Let me have a quick look. Just jump into the YouTube studio, guys. Yeah. I see. I'm live with Levin Saganishvili versus Devin Larratt. let me change that. Okay. Let me just fix this. I'll just do it on the fly. That's funny. Yeah. Okay. Monster Factory post event live brackets spoilers. So I created the live, but I went live on the wrong one. Anyway, okay. Let me just fix the description as well. Bang, bang. Yeah, okay. All that. Save that one. I've probably got the wrong thumbnail too. Thinking about it. Anyway, we've probably got a thumbnail of bloody Levan and Devin. But anyway, we are somewhat sorted now. We all worked it out. Yep. It looks like we're talking about Levan and Devin. Oh, Levan and Devin. We know what we're here to talk about. Anyway, thank you for letting us know, David Pryor, about yeah. What the heck, Bowen? What the heck, says Aiden Bailey. It happens to the best of us, doesn't it? Good to see everyone in here. Good to see you, Larratt Bastard. Thanks, man. When is the Bowen versus Levin? Yeah, oh, man, everyone keeps saying it, man. I'm going to be in that part of the world, be Europe, very shortly in like 30 days, 29 days time. I'm taking on Coach Ray, and I will be in that part of the world. And I'm not coming home until mid-September, because I'm going to be staying around to take on the Arm Wars as well. And in between my match with Ray and my Arm Wars matches, you never know who I might be able to find in that part of the world to just hang out with and do some training. Levan, you never know. I might find Levan. We'll see. Anyway, good stuff. Yeah, John did redline, didn't he? John, absolutely. You've never seen Eric Yang says John never redlined that before. It was insane. Yeah, he really did redline, and it was difficult to see where. It was difficult to see where the pin lines were on the without the pads. They just had those ones with a string line across the top, and that was something that was making it difficult for us as viewers to see where the pin line was. So he had to be close, but John was just redlining down there at the bottom. And as soon as he got control and got his pronator back into it, then it was done and dusted. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So Monster Michael Todd gave me a call. Like I said, I did speak to him just moments ago. He gave me a call. If Ryan beats Levan, he still can't beat Danny Tesh as Drew 24. Absolutely, Danny the man. But yeah, look, Michael Todd, I got the prediction wrong. I said Todd Hutchings was going to win 3-0, and look, Michael Todd, I got to give him credit. He did the job. I know there was messy things in there with fouls and restarts and all that sort of stuff. And I personally would have loved to just seen a few of those matches that were restarted just to let them go and just to see where it was at. But that first round, despite Todd Hutchings getting the pin, it did look like Todd Hutchings' hand was really starting to be compromised. And you could see right from then that it was going to be a very difficult day for Todd Hutchings. And Michael got the jitters out, as he said to me on the phone. And then from there, it was just got control, took control, and as soon as he was able to access that press, it was good night. Michael really, that was always going to be his finish. Michael doesn't really have a finish with the top roll or with the King's move when he's against a balanced opponent. He always finishes with the press, so it was always going to be there. And the big question was when he transitioned to the press, was Hutchins going to be able to slide pressure him out? That's what he did in round one and got the pin. But then it was you could see the hand fatigue was there, and then once that fatigue was in on Todd Hutchins, then it was Michael Todd coming back for the kill. Hawaiian Dispenser says Monster Michael Todd is back. He looked good against Rivas too. Yeah, look, he's back on the winners board. I'm pleased for him. He's got to now, I guess, get back on the horse and start climbing again. And I think well deserved for him. He can now have some momentum and he can look upwards again rather than looking for who's coming for him. Absolutely. As to whether he has a chance against Levan, I agree with this comment here. The first line, Nicky Bobby says nobody stands a chance against Levan unless they're willing to get as big and as strong as Levan. Yeah, look, Levan is in a realm of his own. I do think that, look, the style that Monster Michael Todd possesses is probably the most effective style against Levan. But Michael's just not even close to the strength level required to do it, to pull it off. I think Michael, like Devin, would probably end up hurt if he did go into that position against Levan. Levan is in a realm of his own, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. But either way, well done to Michael Todd on his victory over Todd Hutchins. I guess that does confirm Michael Todd is the number one ranked wrestler in the USA. Dave Chafee, of course, has something to say about it. But those guys now, with this victory, now it makes sense for those two guys to face for that position formally in everyone's eyes. But good stuff. Stronger than everyone on earth wants to ask me, how confident are you against Ray, man? I'm really confident. My match against Ray, like if it comes down to it, look here's the thing. I respect Ray immensely. I really genuinely do. I respect him as a athlete in the physical sense. I know he's strong. He's a strong dude. I've seen it many times. As a technician, I rate him incredibly high. I think he's very aware of what it takes to win an arm wrestle in a technical sense. I think he's very aware of the styles that I possess, and so I expect from him a really good game plan. I honestly think I'm a chapter ahead of him in just the strengths that matter. I think if we look at the list of look at the list of people I've beaten, the list of people he's beaten, the list of people I've had wars with, and vice versa for him. All the ones that I've beaten are consistently higher than the ones that he has. So I genuinely feel, as much as I respect him, I genuinely feel I am the favorite. I think the shutout stake is the correct thing. I should win the match. I should. The match is mine to lose. I am the favorite. I'm certain I'm the favorite. I think Rolly Ray knows that, so the pressure's all on me to do it. I'm watching the way he's training. I'm watching what he's doing. I think I can read the situation pretty well. I don't intend on I don't intend on getting caught by Ray. I intend on my style that I want to do against Ray is just to come out of the gates hard. I'm going to come straight at him. I'm not going to run from him. I'm not worried about his hook. I'm not worried about his press. I'm just going to come straight at him. I feel confident. In the same respect, if I do find myself down 1-0, you guys know I'm very technical as well. I will adjust and move and what is it? When I went on that 12-match win streak, I think I lost the first round of 7 of those matches. So it's all good. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's only 29 days away until the Ready Go itself. Coach Ray, I know he's preparing well. It's going to be good. It's good. Thank you for that question. Stronger than every woman on earth. Am I gay? No, definitely not, John Smith. Corey needs to have a better situational awareness, says to Stronghold. Then he'll crack the top 10. Yeah, look, I think Corey is coming. Corey is definitely on the way. He will crack the top 10. All the signs are there that he will. He got so close against Kadecha. He got so close against Brzenk. He will. You just know he will. You can see he has the fundamental power to get the job done. Those early rounds against Kadecha where he just crushed, they were really significant. And as same as the way he just looks stronger than John. he really did look stronger than John. But there is something to it about, as you said, not only situational awareness, but conditioning through that spectrum. It's one thing to just be aware of where you got to go, but and it's another thing to have the conditioning to transition with force. And that's really one of the things that makes John the GOAT. I've heard Paul Lynn say it before. After his match with him, he expressed that John has a continuous rotation threat. There's always the feeling that John is pronating through your hand. And that is something that allows John to do what he does through every single transition from top roll to hooked, from defense to offense. There's always a threat, and that only comes through time in the sport, through consistent high pressure and development of conditioning and strengths in all those little movements. Corey, when he starts to fill those gaps, which he will, the longer he is in the sport, the longer or the more that will come about. He's clearly got a set of engines behind it. In his fundamental strength sense, Corey is truly, genuinely, massively strong. He's strong enough to be right at the pointy end. So once he becomes that fully complete, developed, conditioned arm wrestler with all of that, which will happen because he loves the sport and he's not stopping. So it will happen, and he's around good people. Corey West, I have no doubt, will firmly be in the top 10. Look, he's super close. He is super close. And I can't wait to see it. Hey, we got a thank you, Stephen O'Keefe, for the 1999 US dollar super chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. He said, how would you compare Brzenk versus Corey and Hutchins versus Corey? Do you think Corey is much stronger shape right now compared to when he pulled Hutchins? Well, look, good question, Stephen. And I do think that if you ask Corey himself, he will say he is stronger right now. Arm wrestlers do have a tendency to say that. Um, because we are in a sport where it's human against human, it's hard to measure it. We do, of course, have lifts in the gym where we have a guide. And look, I think Corey is going to be the first person to declare that he is in his best form right now. The way he went into the match against Kadecha and now against John, I do believe Corey will say that. Not to say that the Corey that took on Hutchins wasn't in amazing form then either. So when I compare those two matches, I mean, Hutchins did it easier than Brzenk. Although that first round where Corey against Hutchins, he crushed Hutchins, but then Hutchins got a very short arm, shorter than Corey, so he was able to get down pressure. It was the down pressure on the fingers that locked down Corey into this uncomfortable lane. Where today, Brzenk, they got a similar length arm, and from elbow to fingertip, I suspect. And so those guys were just very comfortably into each other's groove. They were very much, it was wrist flexion and pronation battle. It was just who has more fundamental strength. And it looked like Corey had the fundamental strength, as we were saying, but Brzenk, the fundamental endurance and all the transitionary strengths in order to get out of there. So the difference between those two matches, for me, is largely a reflection of just the styles of the superior arm wrestler, being Todd and then Brzenk. Corey, I still think Corey is fundamentally stronger than both of those guys, but both of those guys were able to defeat Corey through very developed conditioning in all of the in between moments, and therefore were eventually able to dictate the lanes. Fascinating stuff. Look, John and Todd, you have to say they are on a collision course, aren't they? I mean, they really are. They are on a collision course to find out who is the number one rank in the world at that weight of 110 kilos. Of course, Hutchins now faces Evgeny Prudnik at East vs West. Prudnik is the other guy that's really in the conversation, and he's probably, in all honesty, the favorite in most people's eyes. Prudnik is probably the current number one rank in the world at that weight, but Hutchins is coming for it. Brzenk's facing on Garbayev next at East vs West, which is only 29 days away, guys. 29 days. We'll see both these guys back in action again. I'll be there. I can't wait to watch it in the flesh. But John Brzenk will be taking on Garbayev. And the winners of those two matches there will move forward into a title match for the number one rank in the world at 110 kilos. So that is fascinating. Will we see it, Brzenk against Hutchins? I feel like Brzenk is the favorite going in against Ongarbayev. And I feel like Prudnik is the favorite against Hutchins, but you never know. You never know. So, Stephen, okay, thank you very much for that super chat, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, good stuff. Just scrolling through some more comments now, see what's going on. All righty. 179 of you guys in here. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks for joining us. Uh, Bowen Savers beat Levan. Yeah, maybe. All right. What else can we see? Okay. Why did that dude talk shit about me? I think we're talking about Roger Cunningham. Dylan Courier, because Roger Cunningham and I are on a collision course to find out who is the number one ranked active redhead in the sport. I know Todd Hutchings and Jerry Carteret were both flaming redheads when they were young, but they've both fizzled out as redheads. Let's be honest. They both fizzled out. Todd's lost all of it, and Jerry, you would no longer know. He just looks like a light brown now. But anyway, Roger and I, we want to find out who is the top ranked redhead in the world. So that's why he was talking shit, because I was giving him crap in the comments section saying, Roger, you're sliding. You're sliding. Sap the B, what do you got here, mate? Murray Mackay, what do you think about Derek Smith versus John Brzenk after this? He's the only up and comer John hasn't fought since he's come back. Look, I think that Derek Smith, if he gets a victory against Rivaz at East vs West, then yeah, he's in the conversation. At the moment, I think Derek Smith needs another win before he is able to face John Brzenk, or it makes for it to make any sense. John is, I think John's in the top 10 in the world. After today, I see it as John might be 10. He might be 10. I don't know. Like I said, I've got to think about it. But I do think John Brzenk is number 10, thereabouts in the world on the overall ranks. I think Derek Smith is closer to 16 through 20, somewhere in that zone. However, if Derek Smith defeats Rivaz, who of course we know Rivaz went 3-2 in his victory over Michael Todd at the last East vs West, if Derek Smith can prove that he can defeat Rivaz, then yeah, I'm interested for sure. And of course, John Brzenk has beaten Derek Smith years gone by, probably 3 years ago. I think John did it comfortably, but we'll see. Sap the B, thank you very much for that comment and question. What else we got going on in here? Someone's asking about Lachlan, the schmo. I want your honest opinion. If you're betting Lachlan v. Corey right now, if it was Lachlan v. Corey right now, I think Corey would be the favorite. Let's be honest, they are a very different weight class. Clearly, I mean, Corey's biggest dude in arm wrestling. Lachlan and Dare. I know Lachlan is firmly looking at the 110 kilos. He doesn't want to be heavier than 110 kilos. He wants to see how high he can get on the world ranks in that respect. He'll pull supers if he has to. In Australia, there's no one for him. So he pulls big supers like Matt Tatarangi, Hector Morris from New Zealand. But look, Lachlan's in a really good form right now. We're going to get a great test for him at that 110 kilo class. He's taking on Sandra Status, who's the current European Arm Wrestling Federation champion. I think, is he the WAF champion as well? He might be, I think. So if Lachlan is able to get a victory there, then yeah, look, yeah, Lachlan, Lachlan didn't look that bad against Todd Hutchings. Now, after we see all of this, what's going on with what Todd's done with everyone else, Lachlan actually looked pretty decent. So, look, Lachlan's coming. We'll find out more at the East vs West. But if I had to say right now, Corey's a favorite after what he did to the Kadecha and what he did to John today, even though he took the loss on both of them, I would say he would be the favorite over Lachlan. But the gap wouldn't be huge. The gap would not be huge. But they are, like I said, a very different weight category. Good stuff. All right, what else we got? Drew 24. Oh, thanks for the tip there. Might do that one as well. What else we got? Michael Todd v. John Brzenk. That is an interesting one, isn't it? Michael Todd and John Brzenk would be interesting. It's something that, look, I don't know if you're aware. I'm pretty sure this is true. Michael Todd has never beaten John, ever. I'm pretty sure that's true. Michael, forgive me if I have just got that fact wrong. But I'm pretty sure Michael has never beaten John, and I'm pretty sure Michael would love that opportunity. During the early days of Michael's development, if you go back and look in the archives of videos, you'll see John Brzenk very comfortably beating Michael. There was no press option when Michael would try it, and when early days King's moving, John was just fine. The UAL of 2000, it was UAL 8 of 2000 and maybe 14 or something, 2013. I don't know when it was. Because the last time was when that was that famous "Yeah Big Boy," "Where you going, buddy?" Sorry, not the "Yeah Big Boy." That's Devin and Chafee. But it was the "Where you going, buddy?" call from John Brzenk when Michael went into the King's move and John came forward and pressed him. So look, both these guys right now, it is interesting because here's the thing. I know that Michael is very interested in getting back into the top 10 on everybody's list. I think on some people's lists right now, after his victory today over Todd Hutchins, I think some people are going to say Michael Todd is in the top 10 in the world again. Like I said, I'm not prepared yet. I haven't thought about it properly, so I'm not going to give you my opinion on that. But also, John's in the same. John, Todd Hutchins, and Michael Todd were all very similar. Today, we saw that Michael is above Todd. Given that, you have to go, okay, Michael's above Todd. We don't know whether John's above Todd yet, but we do know John's above Corey as of today. A lot of people were saying Corey was ahead of Michael. There's a lot of ifs. The John Brzenk and Michael Todd match could be a phenomenal match. I do think it would be an interesting one. Ah, man. I don't know. Who do you bet on that one? Eesh. Who do you bet on that one? But either way, it is. I agree. Josh, the Flat Earth Jedi, thank you for the comment, man. I do agree. That's a match that could genuinely be an interesting one. And that would set up a great legacy as well for the number one rank in the USA. As you can see here, Nikki Bobby. Legacy matters more, so Brzenk wins. There is, of course, Dave Chafee. Do not forget about Dave Chafee. I do believe Dave is still the highest ranked arm wrestler in the USA, in my opinion. Given what he's done on the world stage, I do think he is still the way he beat Kadecha. Even though Gennady got him. Anyway, all right, let's have a look. Let me just see if I can make. Everyone wants me to do this. Give me 2 seconds, guys. All right, 1 second. Everyone wants me to make this the firefighter. Let me see if I can make the firefighter a mod. Where are you? Firefighter Frank. There we go. There you go, firefighter Frank. You are a moderator. Thank you very much for your support in all of that. So 209 of you guys in there. What do we want to do? Do I want to ask you guys a question? I'd love to know some poll questions based on what we've seen today. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys. Let me just jump over here so I can write a poll. I would love to see what is going on in your opinions. Who is the highest ranked of these men? After what we've seen today, let me know in your opinion who's the highest ranked of these men. Okay, I'm gonna throw a couple of curveballs in there for you. Mm, mm, yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Just those three men. I just want to know who is the highest ranked out of those three men. Um, Let me know in the poll. This is the thing about the arm wrestling world from rankings. It is very difficult. It is very difficult. Hey, the Aussie arm wrestler comes in with a member for 7 months. He says, "What an amazing event! Loved it. Long live the goat. Ready bang. Thank you, Jake Ward, Aussie arm wrestler with the member for 7 months. Pay-per-view member. You're the man. Good stuff. Hey, the poll results start coming in. We got 47% saying Kadecha, 36% saying Brzenk, 17% saying Michael Todd. So Kadecha still there at the top of that rank there. Good stuff. If I should have put Dave Chafee in there as well. Would have liked to have seen what you guys thought about that one. But anyway, actually, I might end that poll. I do want to know, in your opinion. Quickly going to chuck up another one. Thank you very much for everyone who voted there. Kadecha in the lead. Let me add another one. Who is top rank? Who is top of USA? There's a better question. There's a better question. We got Michael Todd, we got Brzenk, and we got Chafee. They are the three contenders for the top ranked in the USA. Let me know what your opinion is on that one. Who is the top ranked puller in the USA as of right now after today's event? What do we got? Wait for the first impression poll to come in. 76% of people saying Dave Chafee, 16% saying Brzenk, 8% saying Michael Todd. There it is. And look, I certainly agree with the Dave Chafee being the top. I do think he is the man. Um, Brzenk, 24%, Michael Todd 6. You can see the confidence in Michael Todd is down. It'll be somewhat back after today. It'll be somewhat back, and I look forward to seeing Michael having a spring in his step again and moving forward and moving towards winning and climbing once again. He will no doubt want a match with Chafee. I don't doubt it at all. Ronan says Chafee is a beast. Absolutely. Absolutely, he is. You can't underestimate him. We cannot forget about him. Dave is number one in America, says Fighter Frank. Yes, I agree with you. I do agree. Fighter Frank, no worries, man. Thank you for being a moderator and helping out. I do appreciate it. Ramblin says, I think Michael's pronator is just now coming back. Now, let's talk about that. That's been one of the big factors, isn't it? As Michael, Todd, and his pronator, where has it gone of late? And is it now back? But we can certainly say in times gone by, uh, if we think way back to when he was facing Saplenkov and Pushkar, his pronator looked amazing then. It was what really separated him from everyone else. Michael always won the height. In a defensive top role, he would always win the height and he always would get his pronation. And from there, he would do his thing with the King's move, bleed someone out, stand up and press to finish. That seemed to disappear. When Michael lost to Devon, there was no pronation. When Michael lost to Gennady, there was no pronation. When Michael lost to Rivas, it was a struggling pronation. Michael Todd's pronation today looked much better. Looked much better. He was able to gas out the hand of Todd Hutchings. Todd Hutchings, famous for finger flexion and control. Todd's wrist went back, and Todd was pronating through the thumb, keeping his finger. His wrist went back because Michael's pronation looked good. So Michael's pronation was a big, big improvement today. Michael, if we look at Rivas is really tall. You got to remember that as well. Rivas is a really tall dude. So winning the pronation against him was going to be tricky. With Todd Hutchings being the much shorter opponent, it did suit Michael Todd a lot today. So is it back? We'll find out. I don't know who Michael's going to pull next. I know he was talking about Levan, but I know he's also realistic about that he knows he's nowhere near that level. Like I said, I just spoke to Michael on the phone, and he certainly conceded that he's not ready for Levan in any way, shape, or form. But he's not going to give it up. He's not going to give up that dream of potentially doing it. So you never know. You never know where he might go with what he may face next. What else we got here in the comment section? Riley says versus Craig Touye at 190 pounds. Look, absolutely. I would love to face Craig Touye. He is someone that I've almost been lined up with on a number of occasions. Craig Touye. He was someone that was offered to me as a match at East vs West, funnily enough. But that would have been West vs West, so it didn't end up happening, and we ended up with Rolly Ray. But anyway, look, Craig Touye is someone. Of course, he's a very well respected. He's very hardened, and that was the difference between him and Roger today. Was he's hardened, just like John is hardened, and that was the difference between him and Corey West. Touye's been pulling forever. Touye is a beast, and you could see he just was stiff through the wrist and elbow, controlled center, dictated the lane, and got the job done. Craig Touye at 190 pounds. 190 pounds. What's that? That's a bit light. I'm 92 kilos at the moment, so I don't know. But yeah, well done to Craig Touye, and thank you, Riley, for that comment, man. Good stuff. Let's have a look. Sorry to everyone who was in there. Look, other people are saying they were in my other live waiting for me to go. I'm sorry, made the error. Clicked the wrong live. I should delete that one. I don't know. So you guys, no one else is waiting in there. I do apologize if you missed it. So what was this one here? The Wandering Arm Wrestler says in Todd's interview after the loss, he seemed to identify some ways to counter Monster Michael Todd better. Does it seem like he can make the changes to overcome? Look, I think that Todd Hutchings, the way that he lost today, it wouldn't surprise me if he walked away from that saying, "Look, I lost, yep, but there's a way." Every time you lose an arm wrestle, especially when you win one of the rounds, you inevitably feel the truth, and that's why I always say to newcomers in the sport, and this is why practice pulls, don't count and they don't give you as much accurate information. Genuine ready goes when there's something on the line, be it reputation, money, or whatever. Um, Arm wrestlers tell you the truth. And so Todd Hutchins today felt the truth, and the truth was too good under these rules and conditions. The truth was too good for Michael Todd. It defeated him. But when you felt the truth, you go, okay, well, if I, you can also feel the lanes that are potential, the lanes that if you added strength to, or that you changed your style towards, you can feel that. You go away from the match, and Todd was close enough that he would be able to feel some of those things. I don't think Todd would go out there to say that that he was robbed or anything like that today. I think the better man won, but it wouldn't surprise me if Todd Hutchins was quickly taking a ticket for a rematch later on down the track. Todd Hutchins, very strong human. Yeah, good stuff. What else we got? Just going through the comments. Let's see what's in there. What's some other good matches? Paul Lynn was a good match today, man. Paul Lynn and BJ Fakagas, that was awesome. I still have 4 people waiting in the other live. I apologize to those 4 people. Hang on. Should I go and try to rescue them? Hang on. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go and try to rescue them. They're waiting for me. On that other one. I need to go into my lives. Sorry, back end stuff here. I was so damn excited about this. Okay, so that one. Let's delete that one. There we go. Deleted. All right. They should work it out now. We're back. Okay, good stuff. Thank you for that. Sap the B in the chat. He must be in there somewhere. Sap the B, aka I think it's Mario Mackay from Australia. Why do we think that John can beat Monster Michael Todd? Origin Dark. Will we think that because John's never lost to Michael ever in all the times they faced? Never has. And John is, I mean, he's John, isn't he? Bet against John at your peril, it seems. Good stuff. Keep in mind, what we hear from Awaken Anarchism, folks. Keep in mind that Brzenk's only a little more than a year into his comeback. He's going to get better, and that's one of the interesting things about the sport, isn't it? How the ability to come back, like let's face it, there is no other sport out there where you can be 57 years old and just come off retirement. He was retired for 5 years. He's now a year back in, and he's what 8 or 9 super matches in, and he's only lost to Devin Larratt. Everyone else he's defeated, but he's at 57 years old. He's just on the return. It's a very unique sport. It's one of those sports where I think your muscle strength can fade as you retire, but your conditioning and your ability and conditioning, don't underestimate conditioning. Conditioning is all of the joint integrity of the hand and wrist and elbow and shoulder. That doesn't go away, it seems. In retirement, you can step back in. Look at Crazy George Zakowicz, 75 years old or something, just won the Canadian Nationals again, did undefeated across multiple classes. This sport's a weird one. Brzenk's the GOAT. He'll always be the GOAT. And his comeback is, I agree, it's only going to continue to gather momentum. Yeah. What else we got? A couple of people more. Django Fett on John is one of the greatest ever in arm wrestling, but he's fresh back from layoff and he's old. Give him a break. Good to see Hollywood. Matt Conley in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Thank you very much for all your support as well throughout the events. Good stuff. What else we got? Monster Michael Todd v. Levan will never happen. Well, that's a big question on like there is no one. If we like there's no one for Levan. Everyone who would consider throwing their hat in the ring against Levan needs years of preparation, and they need Levan to not really care. Levan is just in another chapter. He's in another realm of power. It may happen. You never know. Like, what does Levan want to pull anymore? I'm sure he does. I'm sure he still has the itch to pull. Who does Levan pull? Levan can pull anyone. I don't think he would be against pulling Monster Michael Todd. And look, the arm wrestling world, would the arm wrestling world be against seeing Monster Michael Todd have a crack at it? Probably not. That I mean, a lot of people would ridicule him for it, but what else? What do we do for Levan? I would look. Monster Michael Todd for me is still. I had, like I said, I have to think about the world rankings. He's somewhere close to 10. That's all I'll say. I'm not saying he's in or out. I'm just saying he's somewhere close to 10 for the moment. Got to think about it. But so he's nowhere near Levan. He's nowhere near it. But would it bother me if Levon said, "Yes, I will pull Michael"? No, I think I gave the wrong accent then. I think I did a Russian accent. I got to work on my Georgian accent. But anyway, I wouldn't object to it. It would just be a match for the match. And like I said, what would Michael's a long way from the kind of form you need to be in to do that. But anyway, Lavan would certainly 6-0 Michael Todd in the current states. There's no doubting on that. All right, what else we got? Hutchins v Gennady Kvikvinia. Yeah, interesting match. I wouldn't object to that as well. Styles do make matches. Could Gennady defeat Todd Hutchins in a hook? I don't know. Maybe Gennady's a super explosive dude. Could Hutchins contain the top roll of Gennady? I don't know. A lot of ifs and buts, but look, again, that's a decent match. Hutchins will face Prudnik, so that will tell us a lot. We'll find out what happens there. That will give us some direction. All right. Hollywood Matt Conley, thanks for the heads up. 190 pound, 86 kilos. That was the suggestion for me and two. Yeah, that's the weight that I think I could be at my best at on an international scale. I think 190 pounds is my kind of peak weight. Where if I've lost the fat, that's where I'm at. Good stuff. Sap the B, he's back. The thing no one says is Michael was Rivaz's first match after 5 years of retirement. Hang on. Michael was Rivaz's first match after 5 years of retirement, and then he trained for 6 weeks for the match. Michael, meanwhile, super active. Is that the case, Sap? Is that true? That makes me think Sap, the B, is not Murray Mackay. Because I don't think Murray would know that about Rivaz. Rivaz, I know, pulled in Moldova. I watched him. So that was what, 2018. So it's 4 years at worst, Murray. I mean, Sap. Not 5 plus. I watched him. I filmed him pulling Pushka at in Moldova in 2018. So it's been 4 years. I don't know what he's done since then. I haven't seen him since then. But either way, it's an interesting point that Rivaz hasn't been as active. He's a huge guy, big dude. I think what's he rank number 3 in Georgia or something like that. It's a point. It's a point. Ryan, have you been called out? Yeah, I think Roger Canningham called me out. It'll happen. That'll happen at some point. We're gonna do the ginger off thing. It will. Absolutely. Corey versus Dave. Yeah, look, Corey's done enough to earn the right to face people like Dave. Wouldn't bother me at all. I think that's a fair match. Dave's the overwhelming favorite, but yeah, Corey's done enough to be in all these matches now. He's at that level. It's very clear. Corey will be in the top 10 in the world very soon. It's not far away. We know it. I'd actually like to see Corey and Michael bang it out as well. I know that they don't want to. They avoid it. They respect each other as training partners too much. But I would love to see those two fight it out as well. Hermes, of course, just seen his name come up. He's one of those guys as well. Sap the B, by the way, declares, I am not Murray Mackay. There it is. You sound a bit offended there, Sap the B. Stuff. Just reading through your comments at the moment, guys. Let's see what else there is. Devin versus Hermes would be amazing. Look, Hermes, I spoke to Hermes a week or so ago. And Hermes, like when I was talking to him, I was expressing what matches I would love to see him pull and whatnot. And there's two very clear matches on his heart right now. I know that he's going to be facing the winner of Jerry Cataret versus Gennady Kvikvinia in East vs West. But Hermes is very passionate about facing Devon and Lever. They are the two people that he has in his side. So I think you can always almost with certainty predict the future ranks of the world by who has the highest goals and has conviction in those goals. Hermes has very high goals, and Hermes has the conviction. He's walking the walk. He's not just talking the talk. Hermes will be, I think, the next person to genuinely have a crack at Levan. If I had to pick any one of the guys in that top 6, he's the guy that seems like he's going to emerge. I say that because Hermes, he's now got the physicality to be in the conversation. And the thing is, he has a snappiness about him. In his there's a pop to his top roll that Levan doesn't have. So that's one thing, one attribute in the physicality sense. And he's come from the background of a lighter man, and I think he's been arm wrestling longer than Levan. He's won more world titles than Levan in his respective weight categories. He's very technical. So with the appropriate size now coming about, it makes sense. And the trajectory he's on, I don't think he's slowing down in terms of his physicality. He's still going up. It makes sense to me that Hermes would emerge as the next most likely person to have a crack. Um, yeah, that's what I reckon. Someone was asking, where am I at the moment? I'm in Brisbane, Australia. There's the question. Brisbane, Australia, man. I'm in my home right now. This is in my home, in my studio that I've got at home. But thanks for the question, man. What else we got? Hermes will defeat Devon. That's an interesting. Yeah, look. I actually think that if I had to, if they were to have a match right now, I know Devon's coming back down in weight. I would say that Hermes would be the favorite, in my opinion. Just based on momentum shifts and all that sort of stuff. I think Hermes would. I think Devon's going to be licking his wounds, just relaxing, his body taking the pressure off himself mentally for some time. Where Hermes is foot to the floor on the accelerator. There are still, of course, people. The GOAT, Mario P, says Devon is still number 2 in the world easy. Yeah, we'll see, man. I'm not sure about that, but he's in the conversation. That's for sure. Well, people saying we should stop hyping Dennis to face Levana. I don't want his health to suffer anymore. Yeah, look, I haven't followed closely all the Dennis stuff in respect to Levana. I think that it is a risk for him. Obviously, I'm not even sure is he still operating on his own kidneys or are they borrowed kidneys? I don't know, but either way, he's unlikely to push himself again. But anyway, he is always going to be someone that's a massive factor in the sport. What's my weight at the moment, man? My weight is this morning I was 90 dressed. I was 92.9 kilos. Going to be 90 kilos when I face Coach Ray. So I've just been running, been eating healthy, getting that dad bod finally starting to disappear. And yeah, I'll be 90 kilos for the match. My next match after Ray, I can be 95 kilos. When I face Bogdan Stoico in the arm wars, I can be 95 kilos. So I'm leaning down for Ray. And then as soon as that match happens, I'll spend some holiday time with my wife in Europe and we'll eat plenty of food and get back up. Devon Larratt stonewalls Hermes worse than Pushkar. Ooh, man, you're a big Devon believer there, Goat Mario. I don't think so. No way. It's a match every day of the week. There's no way. No one, man. I think Levan is the only person stonewalling Hermes. I don't see it. Okay. 244 of you guys in the chat. Thank you for joining me. No doubt we all enjoyed the event. Just trying to catch up through the comments section as well. Question from Jeremy says, Ryan, who do you believe John's next logical step is and what should he be aiming for long-term at Pinnacle? John's most logical step, well, we know he's facing Peter Garbayev. John's doing an interesting thing here. I mean, John's kind of simultaneously doing two things. He's running in one column, he is pursuing the number 1 rank in the world at 110 kilos. The conversation for that is currently 4 men, which is Prudnik, Hutchings, Brzenk, and Ongarbayev. Irakli was in that conversation, but Irakli dropped out when Hutchins smacked him, but now Irakli's jumping back in now that he smacked Marcio. But for the moment, those 4 gentlemen there that I mentioned are the top 4 rank at 110. John's moving towards that. So that makes sense that he would continue to pursue that. But John has also in parallel not hesitated to pull people outside of his weight category. He pulled Devon, he pulled Pavlo, he pulled obviously Corey today. So he's also simultaneously kind of just taking matches when they're in front of him. He doesn't fear anyone, I don't think. He'll have a crack at anyone. And in that respect, he's making a case for being in the top 10 overall ranks as well. I do think John is very close. Like I said, I got to think about it properly. I do think John is right on the 10. He might be in it. He might be out of it. I got to get a pen and paper out and think about it before I give my proper answer to that one. But I think John is doing that. So his next logical step is to just, I would say, um, he's doing all the things right. He's someone who's taken so many matches. He's had more super matches than anyone else in the last 12 months. That formula is actually what made him the goat. It's what's continuing him as the goat. He seems to have a level of conditioning about him that just blows everyone else away. He doesn't hide from matches. He just pulls them, which is super impressive. And I think it's one of the reasons why we all admire him so much. Um, I think John will just continue that. He'll continue, see how far he goes in the 110 kilo class. Will he become world number one again there? Maybe we'll see. If he doesn't, will he just keep fighting for it? I think John. The most important thing is John's enjoying himself, and he's being paid to arm wrestle again. So it's working. It's good. It's making sense. He'll keep going. How long will John be around for in that respect? Who knows, man? It's a sport where you can be around a long time. So John, yeah, I don't know when he stops, but he's having fun, so it's good stuff. All right, what else we got? The question's asked: Who did Toddzilla or Michael Todd win? Monster at lunchtime. It was Michael Todd taking the win 3-1. You can go and watch it on Michael Todd's live stream replay. It'll be there. It's the second last match, that one there, but it was a good match. Nonetheless, Michael Todd did return to the winners bracket after 3 losses on the trot. Yeah, Toddzilla looked good, but Michael Todd too good today. Any word on Schoolboy? I haven't thought of Schoolboy or seen of what his movements are in a while. He's been a fairly quiet social media account for some time. I'm not sure whether he's going to pop up at a King of the Table again, maybe a King of the Table 5 or something like that. There's a few good options for him. I'd like to see Schoolboy and Lachlan Adair or something like that at a King of the Table. That'd be pretty cool. All right, all right. Guys, we've got 239 of you in the chat. I might give it 5 more minutes or so. If you've got any questions for me, let me know. Then I might head off and grab some lunch. But it's been a good weekend. Josh Patherick, the guy who called me out, was Roger Cunningham. He lost today 3-0 to Craig Touye. The reason he's calling me out is he wants to determine who's the number 1 ranked ginger in the world. We'll do it at some point for sure. But that was who the man was who called me out. Good stuff. All right, guys. Looks like that might be it. Thank you very much for joining us today. Congratulations to the GOAT. Congratulations to Michael Todd and everybody who was behind the production. Hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, it wasn't a pay-per-view, so it was free and nice and something different there. We got to see a lot of sponsorship ads and all sort of stuff. That was the difference between them. But it was a fantastic event. Overall, I really enjoyed it. And no doubt you guys did too. Impressive stuff from both Michael Todd and the GOAT in particular today. John absolutely crushing it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you here. Thank you for joining. I do apologize if you joined under the wrong live stream title. Everyone thought we were going Devon and Levan again. But oh, hang on. Drew24 said you got a member super chat. Let me go find it, brother. They don't pop up on this one for me. Let me go find the member super chat. All right, let me see if I can find it. I will find it. Drew24, there it is. I can't highlight it on the screen, brother, but I can certainly read it. He's been a member for 18 months. You savage, Drew24. Thank you, brother. He says, www.goldsum.com is a great arm wrestling resource site that every arm wrestling channel should promote and give to all viewers who want to know about matches, etc. I will go check it out, goldsum.com. The Drew24, who's been a massive supporter of all things arm wrestling. Drew24, thank you, man. You've been a member for 18 months of the channel. That's huge, man. Thank you so much. And I know you support all the other arm wrestling channels equally as well. So thank you so much. Guys, check it out, www.goldsum.com. Thank you, Drew24. I appreciate that one, man. All right, good stuff, guys. We will wrap this one up here. Thank you so much. I will see you guys again soon. Expect lots more from me focused on my match coming up with Uncle John. Uncle John I will be facing on the left arm at Arm Wars, just for that matter. He gets my baby arm. Ray gets my real arm. And yeah, Uncle John does rock. But the next sort of 29 days, guys, it's all going to be about, for me, just preparing to face Coach Ray. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to getting into the international super match space once again. It's been too long. I actually don't even know where I'm at. My level, I don't know anymore. It's been that long. All I know is I'm excited to find out where that is. Coach Ray, best of luck, man, in your preparations. I'm going to be bringing everything I got, and may the best man win.